Welcome back to Sub-Zero Hero. So we showed you a 5-1 victory in the last episode and we were hoping to go on a little charge. Not even close. You can see from the table there we're languishing down in 7th and we're 5 points behind the team in 6th place above us. 7th looks to be the highest we're going to finish this season. We have not got a new contract being offered for us for next season. We're a little bit nervous about that. We've got 5 games left to go. And I think we need a really strong end to the season to try and make sure that there is another opportunity next year to try and be a Sub-Zero hero. So here's the run of form we've been on since that last episode when we beat Bratvorg 5-1, and I thought we'd turned a corner. I thought things were starting to look positive, but we followed that up straight away by playing Levanger and drawing a blank and losing 1-0 before a 3-week break where we sent some of the boys away on holiday, played a friendly game, came back, and in our next game drew 0-0. Certainly not a disaster, but a second game running where we'd drawn a blank, but things looked better in our next game. We played Chelsea away, beat them 2-0, so I was content that we were in the right kind of shape. Certainly, there were no signs of what was going to come next. Remember, we'd gone into these batch of games trying to play a little bit more on the front foot to see whether we could perhaps attack teams a little bit more. And it seemed to have been working apart from that Levanger game, but then we played Grorud and that game was ugly. I mean, the stats were fairly even. We even had more shots than them and our XG wasn't far behind. They only had 6 shots on target. 5 of them made their way past Mikkelsen in goal. And confidence seemed to have been rocked because we then went into the Vålerenga game and we lost 4-0 to them. And this time, well, our XG barely even registered. And 4-0, to be honest, was a pretty fair result. I know they scored a couple of those late on, but they could have scored more if I'm honest. And then we were really up against it. We tried to recover by playing Senja, who were the bottom place team. And we stuck with our more gung-ho mentality. But this time it didn't really work either. We were a goal down after 20 minutes. We equalised. We went 2-1 down. Then we equalised and then even managed to go ahead, and I thought we'd nicked it and we turned our poor run around. Only for them to get an equaliser in the 67th minute. And my goodness, they missed a penalty late on. They could even have won the game even though they were bottom of the table. So now confidence was really at a low ebb. We were having team meetings and we were playing top of the table Moss. So we went back to our cautious 4-4-2, rugged, defensive formation. That defence was breached after 24 minutes against Moss and we had to go and try and chase the game again. We did it successfully. We won a penalty and we equalised, and then we managed to hold until the 84th minute and we went 2-1 down. So we went at them a little bit frustrated. I poured everybody forward and we got another equaliser and I was celebrating thinking we'd nicked a point. Only for them to get a winner in the 89th minute. This is when we were desperately trying to cling on for a point. It seems like these boys have lost the ability to play defensive football now, because we went into the next game against Strawman and again I went into it with our cautious mentality thinking, but when we go gung-ho we're just conceding too early, so we went defensive this game and we were down after 6 minutes. So I just decided to pour everybody forward again. We adopted a higher line, we did greater pressing, we turned our fullbacks into more attacking options. And it looked to have worked. We equalised. We even looked like we'd scored a winner in the 80th minute. And then we went cautious again to hold on to their lead and they equalised in the 85th. So we poured everybody forward again. And this time we did get a winner through Grunwald. By the way, the goals Grunwald scored in these last couple of games were him breaking a 16-hour barren spell. But at least we got a win under our belt, a much needed win, because I'm starting to worry about whether we're going to be here next season. Our contract is up at the end of the campaign. I've asked the board for a new one and they've said, finances are too dire for them to even consider a new contract until it's absolutely necessary, I'm worried that if we drop any further down the table than we are currently, well, it might mean that they decide to look elsewhere at the end of our contract. I reckon we can get away with finishing 7th, maybe 8th, maybe at a push 9th. I'd be more confident with 6th of getting a new contract though. We're 7 points above the drop zone. I guess you could say we're only 7 points off skied in that final playoff place as well, so we are slap bang in mid-table. But the run of form we're on has not been good. What seems to have worked a little bit better for us is we've lost the ability to be able to keep clean sheets now. But when we have been going goals down, we have been good at scoring and fighting our way back into games. And we're going to try and fight today. We're going to go out there with a positive mentality. We're going to play 2 wingers on attack. We're going to have a wing back and a full back, both on support duties. And even though we're not the fastest at the back, we're going to play a higher line. We're going to play a higher line of engagement. We're going to try and press the opposition. This could be about to show you a 4 or 5-0 defeat, but we certainly looked better playing this way when we've been chasing games than we have done when we've been starting with our more cautious mentality. So we're going to get out there today and we're going to see if we can press the opposition, harry the opposition, go at them on the front foot and see if we can just outscore them. Okay, just like the last episode against Bratvorg then, we need a performance today. We need goals. We need to continue our mini little revival. What we do not need is defensive fragility, defensive mistakes, a goalie that's throwing them into his own net. Today, we need to put up some kind of performance. We're at home. We're going on the front foot. We've been working on set pieces all week in training to try and make sure that we can maximise some of our strengths. And we're going to see how we do. If we do manage to get another contract for next season, I am seeing the changeover between this season and next as being a bit of a watershed moment. I think it's going to signal a bit of a changing of the guard. As Mattiasson gets us an early goal. Yes, we needed that one. Yeah, changing of the guard, I think. Over the winter and going into next season, we're going to have to move on some of our older fringe players. And we're going to have to finally call up 4, I think, of our under-19s to be in the first team squad and maybe even in the first 11 next season. I'm thinking maybe Gersa's going to come in and be our right winger for us next season. I'm thinking Ludwig Dreyer, who is back to training very, very nicely, is going to be playing in midfield for us. We've got a number of players who are 32, 33 now. They can't go on forever as Grunwald gets in at the far post and makes it 2-0. Do we stick? Do we twist? We can't play defensive football anymore. I think we just twist. At least the set-piece training has come off. And I'm thinking maybe another couple of our under-19s are going to be in our first team next season. Maybe not playing. He's thrown another one into his own goal. I did say we were going to twist. And we've been on a run recently where when the opposition have a direct free kick, it's going in. That's right down the middle of the goal, and he has just agadooed it into his own net. Okay. All is not lost, though. We are still winning the game. We're winning the XG. It's not like we have been reining in the shots. But back to our youngsters. Training has gone an awful lot better this season with our youngsters than it did the season before. I'm not sure whether that's because players naturally train on better in their second year of being a footballer than they do in the first. That's a possibility. Or whether it's because that's a terrible finish, we've made better decisions with our youngsters in Season 2. We've not worried about trying to mentor out their personalities. We've kept them down in the under-19s where the facilities are better and the coaches are better at working with youngsters. That seems to have done the trick. And I think some of them are ready for the step up to the first team next season, and some others are ready to go out on loan. But we've got work to do today before we worry too much about our youngsters. Let's give them a quick half-time team talk and then I'll see you out there for the second half. Okay, we are back underway then. If we do get another contract, and if this series does go into another season, I'm thinking that rather than show you the last game of the season, which fingers crossed is just going to be a meaningless fixture, we might instead do an end of season recap where we have a good look in depth at our youth development. So we could show you the new batch that come through in February time, but also show you the progress that the players from our first year and second year have made, so we can see if we're developing youth players at a part-time club. And we can also have a look at the ones that might have been going backwards. We've won the ball back on the pitch though. Got to try and keep half an eye on what's going on down here as well. We've gone long. I think this is going to be offside. He's dinked it over. It's not offside. Certainly looked a whiff of offside to me. Mathiassen's in with his 18th goal. This chap, by the way, has definitely been a discovery for us this season. That is a superb bit of predator poaching there. He has been pretty good for us. He might even be the top scorer in the division for us, this chap. He's managed to tuck away now, 16 goals in 20 games, plus the 2 that he's got today. He is a red-hot marksman. I know what you're thinking. Maybe he should have been playing from the start of season 1. He might have developed even further, but we'll brush over that. That's a good throw. Brilliant. Good. Invite them back into the game. Nothing like throwing it directly to the opposition in order to make the game exciting. There we go. Does he even get close to his own player? He doesn't. No, it's not even gone in the vicinity of one of our team. And we're back under pressure again. So I guess we go again. Here's a free kick. We saw what they did with their last one. They've still got the ball. Don't close them down. No, no, no. Oh, the goal is spilt. Another one. And finally we got the ball away. Are we going to have a cheeky little counter now? It's exciting, if nothing else. Mathiassen, not this time. It's a poor little effort. I think it might be time to maybe bring on a couple of subs. Okay, the fresh legs are on and the highlights keep on coming. I think we need at least another goal to be guaranteed a point in this game, the way that we have been playing. Lawrence Korg have come at us again, but Mathiassen's in. This could be his hat-trick. He's a long way from goal and he's gone wide. Pedersen's dinked one in, and no, this is not our highlight. Don't think that because we're in their box that this is necessarily our highlight. No, no, no. They are coming at us again. Albertson we've just brought on as a sub. We've tucked him in at right back so that our mate Loveland can go and play on the right wing. And here he is. He's taking on his man. He's not the quickest, but he's dug out a good ball. And Mathiassen looks dangerous every time he's getting a chance, isn't he? If we can cling on, this would make us just, 2 points behind Chelsea in 6, 4 points behind Skeid. The season starts to look a bit better if we can hold on to this win. If we ship an equaliser, I'll feel like it's a little bit self-imposed again because we've had a free kick against us that the goalie has palmed into his own net and a goal from our throw-in that looked infinitely avoidable to me. Going forward, we're looking good again. We're looking strong, but it's not even like we're looking poor at the back. We're just making wretched little mistakes from individual players. Now we're going to have to do a little bit of defending again. Go on, hunt them down, get that ball back. That's what we're after. It's more aggressive, isn't it? It's definitely a more front foot style of play. It's suiting some of the players. Maybe not all. Christopherson's got some making up to do after his terrible throw-in. This time he is offside. Likes to try and threaten that offside trap though, doesn't he? How far off was he? Oh, it's marginal. It's borderline. I mean, it's within 5 feet. Tough one. Tough one. We're coming at him again. I think he's off again. He is. He's off again. He He does like to spring that offside trap though. And at what point do we calm it down a little bit? Shall we just go balanced? Maybe we should be dropping it to the Janet Jackson, but I'm starting to lose faith with our ability to play the Janet now. When we've played it before, it's just led to them scoring goals. We've not been able to see out games with defensive tactics, so let's stay on the front foot, but just drop it to balanced rather than positive. Loveland's in now. He's giving it to Carlson. If anybody's looking like they're going to score another one, it's us. So you know we're going to ship an equaliser. And here it comes. Oh, has Mickelson saved that as it struck a post? The linesman saved us. I still think we need one more to guarantee a point. Grunwald's on the long throws then. Here he comes. He's decided not to throw it long. He's dinked it. Don't give the ball away there. Come on, get it wide. Here we go. Where are our bigger players? He slung it in. They're not there. That's the shortest player we have. Grunwald's decided to stay out wide. Now let's get the ball to him. Here he goes. Shoot! Again! Oh, dear me. That's a woeful little effort. Okay, we are pausing. We've got another sub. I think I'm going to chuck on some time wasting. We've got 4 minutes of injury time to try and navigate. Okay, I have tinkered to try and see out the game. I have dropped the tempo. I have dropped the line of engagement and the defensive line. I've thrown on the time wasting. I've brought on an additional midfielder in the place of Grunwald. Hopefully, that's going to see us to a 3-2 victory. Don't break my heart this late. We are over the allotted 4 minutes. Close him down, foul him, win the ball. Don't let him shoot. Oh, he's dived in. It's a corner. God, they're going to have time to take it. I've taken Grunwald off, who was our main player back there for defending the set plays as well. Don't worry, the midfielder we brought on gets it clear. Ref, come on now. We're a minute over what you said. Why are we playing on? Get out of play. Oh, thank goodness. We needed that win. That's the one that could get us into a 4th season of Sub-Zero Hero. I think we deserved it. We scored some pretty decent goals. We also had another one disallowed. And their 2 goals, to be honest, we scored for them. Both of them. Goodness me, I think goalkeeper is one of the areas we've got to have a look at whether we can find a youth player that's going to be an improvement on what we've got. But we're going to try and keep the confidence going then. So let's outstretch the arms and let's say a thoroughly professional job or... No, well done, lad. That was a good win. They're motivated and they're inspired. And we stay in 7th, but more importantly, look at that gap. We're 5 points clear of 8th. If we can finish no lower than 7th, I think we get a new contract. And I will take a pay cut to try and get 2 years rather than 1 on that contract. Here's what we're going to do next then. If things go okay and we look like we're going to cruise into the end of the season without getting fired and finishing in mid-table, we're going to come back instead for a youth intake review. We'll look at the new batch and we'll review the progress that the previous 2 youth intakes have made. If it looks like we could still get dragged into a relegation battle, or if it looks like we're going to go into the final day of the season and potentially it could be our last game, we might come back sooner. Things feel a little bit precarious at the moment in our efforts to become a Sub-Zero hero.